Welcome back, guys. So today I want to talk about the biggest problem of Anime Vanguards Update 3, which I think is something that we have to talk about since this update is pretty good and there's not many problems about it. But it doesn't mean that there's no room for improvement left for the developers, and today I just want to give some constructive criticism and also finally give a positive rating for one of these updates. I think this is going to honestly be one of my best updates that I've seen for this game, and probably it is the best actually. But hey guys, if you aren't subscribed yet, then please like and subscribe, because our goal is to reach 50k subscribers before my birthday in February 21, 2025. So please subscribe, because only you can help me get to that goal. Now, if you're subscribed, let's continue on with today's video. Now, the number one problem with this update, actually, before I move on to this video, I want to say first and foremost that if the developers are actually watching this video, that you guys did a great job. Okay, you guys did a genuinely great job with this update, proving furthermore that actually focusing on quality can get you places. But there are still some stuff that we need to talk about, because there are, I think, two major problems in this update, if not three, that actually the rest of it, and if not in its entirety, is actually pretty good. There's just three not really very minor problems, but problems that I think needs to be mentioned so that they can work on it on future updates. So again, I don't want to go straight into the bad things that they did. First and foremost, I want to mention the good things actually. Number one, portals in this game are actually very fun. Portals are not, as bad as it is in games like AnimeDefenders. I feel like portals in this game was handled pretty well, and I actually like the way that portals were handled in this game. It's a very, very nice and seamless grind when you're grinding portals, and it's actually very nice. And on top of that, they actually added, again, free-to-play stuff in portals. Like, for example, you can farm trait crystals in portals, because these presents right here can actually drop you trait crystals or trait rerolls, right? So while farming the portals, you can actually get trait rerolls. So while farming for secret portals, you may be getting these trait rerolls along the way. It's actually a very nice touch, right? But apart from that, they also did a bunch of good stuff with the units. I feel like the units in this update were pretty good. Some of the units are pretty mid, but in the most part, they're pretty amazing. And I really want to give a huge shout out to Ragnar or whoever made his passive, because his passive is amazing, okay? He is a free Monarch unit, and I really, really like him. And huge shout out to whoever thought of it. So what else can I really say about this game? The map lobby is actually pretty nice. I feel like they did a huge improvement in the map lobby. Then they also made boss events restock, and by the way, they confirmed that boss event restock will mean that the trait rerolls in the shop will also restock. They will nerf it, but it's gonna be restocking every week, so that means yes, you can consistently farm trait crystals now, which is pretty nice. So yeah, a lot of this update is pretty good. A lot of this update is pretty nice. I think like most of it, for the most part, it is a good update, and I think this is 100% their best update, okay? 100% it is their best update of all time, okay? It is their best update without a doubt. Everything is good. The passives, especially for Ragnar, are pretty good. I feel like some of the passives for some of the units are pretty underwhelming, but again, for the most part, the units are pretty decent, and everything about it is pretty good. The only big problem that I can really see about this game, there's three of them, is number one, the bugs on release. Like for example, when farming portals, there's a lot of people that for the first, I think, day, they basically couldn't get Ragnar from the secret portal, because there was a bug that even if you did the secret portal for Ragnar or Ragnar in this game, you wouldn't be able to get him. So it's a very big bug that did not get caught in testing for some reason, and I feel like that should have been caught in testing, but it's a very big bug, and now they're currently doing restores for it. And I mean, I got my Ragnar from that as well. I got a restore, and they're doing restores for pretty much everyone in the game right now as well, and you can now get a Ragnar from the portal. It's just very sad that this didn't get caught in testing, because if it did, then they wouldn't have this major problem. And then there's also another problem with portals, where there's a lot of bugs in portals, which is actually weird. Some people are experiencing bug in portals. Some people are also experiencing bug in the Subaru portal, I think the World Lines portal, which is kind of unfortunate, because the portals are pretty nice the way that they did the portals, but since it's kind of littered with these bugs, it removed or reduced the experience for a lot of people. And then after the portals, I think the second biggest problem is the balancing with the portals. They actually did remove some of these portals. Like for example, if you go take a look at my portal right here, they removed now tracks at the edge of the world, or this is the SBR map, and they removed this now because it was way too hard. And I mean, props to them for realizing that it was way too hard, but it really was impossible. Like, even if you had many Monarch units, even if all of you had like 5 Monarch units each for a total of 20 something Monarchs, you still wouldn't be able to beat this. Like, you genuinely just couldn't beat it. Then I think apart from that, there's also the spider one, which is like this one right here, Spider Forest. People are avoiding this map because of how annoying and difficult it is. And then apart from that, there's also the Holy Element, which again, if you know how the Holy Element works, you're gonna need a Holy Element so that you wouldn't heal the enemy. So I feel like the portals are pretty unbalanced in a sense that, like, for example, they had to remove Steel Ball Run because it was too difficult, and a lot of people are avoiding Spider Forest, and a lot of people are also avoiding the Holy Element because of how annoying it is to do. So that really does say a lot for how well balanced the portals are. And I know I talked to some of the developers about this, and they said that people wanted a hard game. So I think it's also a positive that if they want a hard experience, they can be farming the Spider Forest, right? So this way, people really can say that, oh, the game is too easy because you have stuff like this. However, I feel like there comes a point where it just simply becomes way too difficult, right? What would I say is a pretty good example of good difficulty in the game? I feel like Sukuna, the boss event, is a pretty good example of a good difficulty, a right mix between difficulty and easy, because it's actually still possible with the right units, and actually is quite easy with the right units, and it's not outright impossible, right? So I feel like boss events is a very good example of how to do a difficult game mode in Anime Vanguards. Then you also have raids like the Spirit Wisps, where you can basically make it harder depending on the modifier that you pick. Like, for example, if you want to make it very hard or very difficult, then you can select a very difficult modifier, and by doing this, you can make it hard on yourself. So it's as hard as you want it to be, and also as easy as you want it to be. So I feel like that is a good way for the developers to handle difficulty. It could be as easy as you want it to be, or as hard as you want it to be, maybe using modifiers. So if people want it to be hard, they can use the hardest modifiers to make it hard, but then they will also get more rewards, right? So I feel like that would be very good. The third and last problem that I'm gonna talk about here, it's not really a problem as it is a minor nitpick, but the fact that Gogeta is 1 in 20,000, or he's basically a 1 in 0.005, which means that the chances of me and you getting him are actually incredibly low. Now, I know that AnimeDefenders has a 1 in 80,000 Secret Aizen unit, and there's a reason why I'm not playing that game anymore. There's a reason why I'm not playing AnimeDefenders anymore, because I don't really like how they're handling the rarity, right? They're not giving that many rerolls, and they also have a unit that's 1 in 80,000 that I will never get. There's a reason why I'm not playing that game anymore. So I feel like even though Vanguards has a 1 in 20,000 unit, and it is a lot better than the ones in AnimeDefenders, I really feel like adding Vanguard units and making them the OPest unit in the game is really a bad feeling, because it would have been fine if Gogeta wasn't an amazing unit and he was just a collector unit. But the problem here is Gogeta is literally like the best unit in the game right now. So if you don't have him, you are at a massive disadvantage to the people who do have Gogeta. So you can see where the problem here comes around, right? You can see where the problem here starts to occur. It's because this unit, the secret Vanguard unit that's 1 in 20,000 that 90% of us will likely not get, is actually one of the strongest units in this update. But honestly, I feel like it's still not that bad. I mean, I feel like it's a minor nitpick. Some people will like how rare it is, especially the people who got Gogeta, right? If you got Gogeta, you're probably gonna like how rare he is, because you're gonna have a very big advantage to people who don't have Gogeta. The problem here is I don't think he has a pity, and he is very difficult to get. Like, he's very difficult to get. Like, you probably will not get him. And another personal problem that I have is I've been getting shafted in the reroll so many times. Now, this is just a joke part here. I mean, it's not a problem. I'm just very unlucky when it comes to these types of games. And probably that's one of the reasons why I dislike Gogeta, because I've been super unlucky, and I know personally that I might never get him. But Yeah, I mean, this update is amazing in my opinion. There's not that many stuff that I can really say about it. I've been grinding it consistently for the past days since it's released, and I really like it. Like, I love it, and I really like it. Okay, I've been saying that repeatedly because it's a very good update, and I'm very happy with what they did with it. So yeah.